Lean in. In today's episode, I'm going to tell you the secret to why some days you are bursting with energy and others you feel completely drained. You know why? Because your nutrients are talking or not talking to your body. What do I mean when I say nutrients talking? Well, I'm speaking of, for example, an apple. Of course, we know there's fiber, there's fructose, vitamin A, and of course, our bodies need that. But more importantly, at the cellular level, the body benefits from the molecular structure of the apple because at the molecular level, there is a communication between those structures and the cells in the body. So then we benefit, of course, from the vitamins and the minerals, but at the cellular level, the messages communicated between the apple and our body is what gives us the feeling of being less tired, feeling stronger. Why is this even important? Well, because if we skip meals or if we fill our diet with foods that don't carry those messages, then our bodies don't have the resources at the cellular level to function optimally. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about why we should eat healthy. Because once we put food in our mouth, right? Let's say we're eating a salad. That salad, of course, is going to get broken down by the digestive system, and those nutrients enter the bloodstream. And remember, those there are other messages at the molecular level that are dropped off at the cells of the appropriate organ systems. So, what does that mean in real time? Of course, those nutrients from the apple, for example, they'll go over to the lungs. They can help with the digestive system. They can also help with the pancreas, which is why eating apples can benefit if you have elevated sugar levels and diabetes, problems with respiration or asthma because of this molecular system signaling to certain cells that we're already discussing. Now, some nutrients are more immediate, like the vitamins and the nutrients. But what we're talking about now is how important real food is to consume because of the messages it can send to the body at what? The cellular level. So, the food we eat, it is not just to fill our stomachs. It is not simply because it tastes good. It also is the raw material that our body needs and is able to gain access to repair itself, to send signals for anything else it may need, and to help us feel vital, strong, and healthy. Listen, I know that this is a different take on healthy eating, but let me tell you, food is not just fuel, it's actually information to a cell. Look, we have spinach loaded with iron, which helps, of course, our red blood cells carry oxygen. When your blood is well oxygenated, you feel alert, your muscles perform better. Blueberries, same thing. They're a shield for your brain because of the antioxidant properties. And that antioxidant then helps prevent a lot of internal cell damage and then affects memory and focus in a positive way because of less damage. Citrus fruits, the same way. Oranges, lemons, grapefruits have packed with vitamin C to help the immune system. And freshly made juice, it is concentrated signals because you've extracted all of those nutrients and messages from those vegetables and can drink a larger quantity because you've converted it into a juice. And so, eating better, understanding why you should eat better is a step in the right direction because you have information and application. So, we're bringing this all together because this is the big picture. Every meal is an opportunity for those nutrients to go to the places that understand their message and deliver it. That means what we choose to eat, whether it's rich in vitamins or minerals or antioxidants, then we're adding positive instructions to what can be delivered and how we can feel better overall. When we skip those nutrients, guess what? those messages don't get delivered. And so it is actually important to see food as more than something that should just be tasty. It should be enjoyable. Of course, it should be those things. But the nutritional impact has to also be included. When you think about it, there is no other way to get those messages to your cells, to get those messages to your heart cells, to your muscle cells, to your brain cells. There's no other way to deliver them outside of what we eat. So the next time you're planning your meal, ask yourself, no, seriously, ask yourself, what message am I sending to the most important part of me, my body? So we're wrapping this up and we're making this point that every single thing we do, every organ in our body needs particular building materials that we are only going to find in vitamin enriched foods because they can deliver those messages to our body at the cellular level. Vitamin C, hugely important for the immune system, for white blood cells that make up the defense of the body. Calcium builds bone, builds teeth. Magnesium actually is a natural relaxant, and that's usage could go on and on. With helping keep our heart rate at a steady beat, keeping our nervous system from being overworked, making sure that we sleep well. Each nutrient together causes a perfect balance to occur. And that is really important for us to understand because even if we look into the details of the body down at the cellular level, or if we think about our daily activities, when we prepare to go to work, cook dinner, when we're taking care of our family, grocery shopping, driving on the way to work, going to the gym for a workout, things that we do every day on a regular basis, they all exhaust the resources in the body and they have to be replaced. What we want to do for a takeaway for this particular video and this particular episode is to come to terms with the fact that we are responsible for fueling our bodies, and the only way we fuel our bodies is with our food. The the key and primary understanding is that we can learn to enjoy foods that fuel us well. There is a misnomer that the foods that are more savory, those that offer more comfort to us, have to be those that are not tasty, those that don't offer the messages that our bodies need. But that is not true. There are so many ways to prepare, so many food types to explore. We have to consider cultural foods in other ethnicities from other parts of the world, considering seasonings that we are not necessarily accustomed to. At the end of the day, we have to get a resolve that it is ultimately our responsibility to nourish ourselves. And the only way we do that to form strong, healthy, energized bodies, to stay vital, is by what we eat.